Google Science Journal is an app that you can get on iOS or Android. You can also use it on your Chromebook. So in our Lunch and Learn page, I've gone ahead and put the direct link to the Google Science Journal. We'll click on that, and there'll be a Get the App link, and there's a video that explains it. I'm going to go ahead and play that because it's a quick way to see what it does.
Our physical world is full of wonder. It's a constant source of thought-provoking questions. And it offers us observable and measurable information to help understand and answer these questions. Light, sound, and motion all contain answers to how the world around us works. And Google Science Journal allows you to observe, measure, record, and document this information, all from your phone. Gather and document science experiments from the world around you using sensors already in your phone. Graph your data, record your experiments, and organize your questions and ideas. The answers in your pocket with Science Journal.
You might want to turn your sound up just a little bit for this next short section. I recorded it on my phone and the sound just wasn't quite as loud. So that's their little promo video for it. And the question we'll have then is, how do we use it? It can be used on Android, iOS, iPad, even on Chromebooks if you have access to the Play Store on your Chromebook, and the newer Chromebooks do. So I'm going to open it up. I went into the Play Store, so I'll go there again, and I'll just type Science Journal. There it comes up. I've already downloaded it, so I'm just going to hit open. This is their welcome screen, and I want to point out under the menu bar on the top left, under experiments, let's see, activities, not experiments, activities. They have experiments under activities, and you can see they have a whole bunch of them here with ideas and things you can do. So that's just one place I wanted to share, but I'm going to go back now to their whole page on getting started, and their video is there as well. So I'm going to go back to the app again. There we are, we're in the app. And here are the basics of it. If a student or you want to start to collect some information, you click the plus. And up here there's a pencil to give it a name. I'll call our new experiment here Spring. We can put a picture for our cover photo here. I'm going to go get one, and I'll just choose a cover photo. And then I hit the check mark up on the top right to accept that, and you can start to add some observations. Down below that first icon is observations. The second icon is sensors, different kinds of sensors. We'll show that in a moment. Then the third icon of the camera is to take a picture, and the fourth one is to get a picture that you already have. So we're going to add a notation. Let's say, for example, I see green. So a student could look at something and take observations. So I'm going to click the arrow to say got it, and it's up there. Now within that observation, in addition to it, they can also add a picture. So we'll go ahead and add one from something that we already have. And on that picture itself, I think they can click on it, and then they can add more info about the picture also. So we'll just write buds. Okay, hit the arrow, the check mark to accept it again. So all their data can be put here together. We could probably do that in a Google Doc or in some other tool, but the cool thing about this app is the following. There are these sensors, and you scientists out there are going to understand this a lot better than I do. I'm just going to show where they are. The second icon there, we hit that, and you can show light, ambient light. That's the first button here under the sensors. See, the second icon means sensors, and then under it you're going to have all these different sensors. So light, ambient light. Second one, We're going to say yes, allow. It's not going to let me use this audio because I'm using a program on my phone here to record my phone. So it will give us an error, but at least we know it's there. Okay, failed to load sensor data. It's because of the microphone thing. Okay, the next one also uses sound, so it'll give me an error, but it's pitch. So the last one was sound intensity. This next one is for pitch. Linear accelerometer. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I'll get rid of that error. So here's one that does work because it's not taking my sound here. A student then can have it going and it's not recording yet. But the minute they push the red button, it records from that moment. And then when they're ready, they hit it again and it goes up there in their data. So there's one. But the cool thing about that is depending upon the sensor, they can click it. And I believe up at the top under these 3 dots, they can crop it. So if they want to, they can crop off, the beginning or the end and just use that certain part of the data. Hit the check mark to accept, and they can add a note to that as well. Hit the pencil and title it if they want. I'm just going to put that in here to the check mark. So now that graph has a title to it. Add a note to the timeline. You double click and you can add a note to the timeline, save. And so that is now in their data as part of what they have collected. So let's look at the other sensors. The next one is the accelerometer X, accelerometer Y, accelerometer Z. Then there's also a barometer, and they can hit the recording and then click it when they're done. And now that's up here in their data. And let's see what we have here. That one doesn't have a crop, barometer, obviously. Okay, and then another sensor. Let's see if we can get back to the sensors down here. I'll just click on those sensors and they're all here. The next one is a compass, magnetometer, and then we have you can turn on or off all these sensors. So I'll go ahead and go back. And there's one more thing. 2 actually. On the left here, if you want to get the whole thing, let's choose one of those sensors that perhaps here. How about this? Magnetometer. So what if instead of getting a piece of it, you just want what's on the screen right now? You can hit this left hand like screen looking button and it grabs the whole thing, it should, and put it up in your data. There it did. There it was just a number. Let's go to something else. If I grab the whole thing, it grabs it. I hit it again. Let's see what else. The Y. There we go. Now let's say we want to watch this and we want to grab the whole thing and not just a part of it to record it. So to grab the whole screen, we're hitting this left button on the bottom, and there it should have put it. Let's see if it does it. There it goes. It just grabs that info on there. Might depend on the tool. Okay, and the last thing I want to share is on the top right, when you're done and you have this experiment, you can send a copy somewhere and it ends up opening up maybe on another device in this same app, but you can send a copy. It'll allow you to send it via email, save it to your drive, so there'd be a lot of options for students. So that's Science Journal. It's Google Science Journal, but it's just called Science Journal and is available on many different devices. I also saw in some of their discovery experiments that they were using Velcro to hook a string onto the phone to do some of these experiments.